As a Westerner, I'm once again disappointed, even outraged, that the international media are not covering the mass anti-Islamic regime protests which have been occurring in Iran in cities all over the country in recent days. It's not as if the international media never cover Iran. For example, here is the front page of the international edition of the New York Times from early this month, December 5, 2025. The headline is Embracing Joy in Iran, as if people in Iran are happy or suggesting so. So, yes, when the New York Times and international media want to highlight Iranian issues, they can on the front page. But you know what? When it comes to anti regime protests, because the regime is so anti American, anti Western, anti Semitic, the Western media, the left wing Western media, are not interested in siding with those protesters against this Islamo fascist regime. Now, the anti regime protests are a major story, not just for Iran, not just for the Middle East, but for the whole world, because the Iranian regime's global terror network, more than any other regime in the world, has been responsible for terrorism and fomenting unrest all over the world. They have promoted or organized terror attacks in Africa, in Australia, in Asian countries like Thailand and India, in South American countries like Australia. They have, of course, tried to destabilize many other countries. They have supplied Russia with tens of thousands of drones to fire on Ukrainian cities and much, much else. So we should all be interested. And we should also be interested from a human rights point of view. For 47 years, Iranians have suffered at the hands of this Islamic regime. And people on the West, particularly in the left, don't seem to care less. Iranian people couldn't be more clear. They don't want this regime. They have been shouting Azadi, the Farsi word for freedom, all this week. And where is the sympathy in the West? Where is the coverage? Where are all those phony virtue signaling pro-Gaza protesters that we have seen on the streets of West European cities or on Ivy League universities or in Hollywood? They are suddenly silent. Let's hope that the year 2026 finally puts an end to this regime and brings in a pro-Western, pro-democratic government in Iran that treats its own citizens with respect and doesn't foment regional wars and terror.